If you spend a lot of time writing TypeScript code and you've ever felt that this error isn't so helpful, stick around, I'm going to show you something interesting. This VS Code extension I'm about to show you is going to improve how you debug your code and how you read the errors you get while working with TypeScript. Let's get to it. So this is where things start to get interesting. Once you start to use this VS Code extension, you would begin to wonder, where has it been all your life? Why haven't I used it since? And why is it not even the default way things are in VS Code? So let me show you. If you go to your extensions, let me make this bigger, and you type in pretty TypeScript. Very good. Pretty TypeScript errors. So TypeScript errors become messier as the complexity of types increases. At some point, TypeScript will throw you a shitty heap of parentheses and dash. This extension helps you understand what's going on. For example, in this relatively simple error, you get this instead of this. And if you use TypeScript a lot, you will notice that you've seen this type of errors a ton of time. But then you always wonder, how can this be simpler? How can this be more reasonable? And here's what this extension does. So first, it does some syntax highlighting to this, makes it look nicer, outlines clearly what is going on. Now let me show you. If you look closer, you see the features. Syntax highlighting with the theme color for types in error messages, supporting both light and dark themes. A button that leads you to the relevant type declaration next to the type in the error message. A button that navigates you to TypeScript.tv, where you can find a detailed explanation, sometimes with a video, and a button that navigates you to TS Error Translator, where you can read the error in plain English. So good. Let me show you what it looks like in action, right? So the VS Code I use is the VS Code theme I use is Night Owl. But let's say if you were going to use something else. So for instance, let me switch my theme and switch to dark plus. Good. So let's say for instance this is the theme you're using, and then but it doesn't really have anything to do with the theme, right? But then you get to this, right? So now we have this function. It's just a dummy function, handle settings update, and we're passing it to this button, and then it takes in this update function, collects the user, updates the user in this callback, and we can do whatever I want to do here. But now, what if, for instance, the user expects type of name string, email string? What if we intentionally do this? Change this from name to first name, and we change this name to last name. Good. And when we over this, you will notice TypeScript immediately begins to complain, and you see this bunch of stuff at the top here. Now this is a relatively simple error, but once it gets bigger than this, it tends to tell a bunch of shitty stuff. But then this extension makes it more clearer to you. So you see this argument of type first name string, last name string is not assignable to parameter of type user. The first name, last name is missing the following properties from type, user, name, and email. And this is so good. This is so good, particularly for more complex errors and more complex types, right? But then if we were to fix this back and say name and then back to this email, then that error should go away, right? But now let me show you in a much more in a different scenario. Okay, good. So this is a little bit more complex than what we had before. So now let's say I have this function, undo pick multiple images. Basically takes a selection, maps through that selection, updates this in this new variable, new photos, and then assign this to the state to update the new state. But what if I decide to do this? Remove this 3 dots. So instead of spreading that array, because this is basically an array of and source, but what if I decide to remove those 3 dots and not spread the array, and I over this? Then you see this ton of error like you would normally see, right? But when I scroll down, so unfortunately this extension has to do its thing below the default with error message. Otherwise it would have been nice to have this permanently at the top. But when you scroll down, you can see clearly with syntax highlighting, argument of type this is not assignable to type this, and type carousel image props is missing this. It's not assignable to this, basically. And this looks so much better because it can then tell you that it's missing the following properties from carousel image prop, ID, and source. And then it says the new photo we are passing is an array of this type. And then it's just so much clearer, so much nicer, and it just makes you reason about your TypeScript errors very, very differently compared to what you have here. Now, this is where the whole magic happens to. If I click this here, I get taken to this TypeScript.tv errors, where it's going to show you like a detailed description of your error, and even sometimes like show you a video describing what's going on, right? And then also, if you click on this other globe icon, you can see where this error is translated into a more simplistic English language for you to understand. So you see TypeScript errors translated or TypeScript errors in plain English. And then when you see error 5, it says, basically it's telling you that could not find a translation for error code this, but then it says type this is missing the following properties, type 1 and type 2. But then it says here, type carousel is not assignable to type carousel image. Translation. I was expecting a type matching A, but instead you passed P. And then it just goes on to do some plain English explanation for you, which is really, 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 really cool. So this is really handy. This is really helpful. Since I've been using it, I've always wondered why I did not discover it since. And I think it recently came out about maybe some months ago. Yeah, but this should be the default way your errors are shown in TypeScript. And I hope the TypeScript team or the VSCode team rather is like listening or whatever. But then they should make this so much nicer and better. This is so good. I hope you like this, and I hope you can improve your code writing experience and the way you handle your errors, or you fix errors, or you go about debugging your code here. But if you like this, give it a thumbs up. See you in the next video. So there you have it. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And also let me know what you think about this in the comment below. Bye bye, and see you in the next video.